Because you were here. So today I'm going to start stock seeds. And I know this seems a little early, but stock is one of those annuals that actually likes cooler weather. And in my area, we don't really have a cool, prolonged spring. We go straight from a cold winter to hot summer of like 85 to 90 degrees. And that is not something that stock likes. It really thrives in more of the cooler weather. So over the years, I've experimented with different time frames as to when to start stock seeds. And I found that the last week of January and the first week of February is really the best timing for me. I'm going to start it two different ways today using this seed starting kit and soil blocks. Now I have grown stock in soil blocks before and I've been very successful, but I also want to see how they will do just in a regular seed starting kit. Let's start with soil blocks first. And for the seed starting mix, I'm using Jiffy's. Out of all of the seed starting mixes out there, I found Jiffy's most successful for me. There are a bunch of others that I tried that are also pretty good, but Jiffy's is my go-to. To start your seeds using soil blocks, you obviously need this handy dandy tool right here, but you have to make sure that the soil, the seed starting mix, is nice and moist, that you can actually shape something out of it without it breaking apart, but it cannot be so moist so it kind of has the water dripping out of it. So I think this is actually pretty good. I'm actually going to switch the camera angle a little bit so you can see this better. So you should be able to make a shape out of this without it dripping soil when you squeeze it. And the next step is to fill this soil blocker with the seed starting mix. And I made a big mess here. Just go like this. Press. There you go. Your soil blocks. So as I'm making these soil blocks, I just wanted to quickly talk about why do we use soil blocks instead of just starting seeds the regular method in the cells. There are a couple of advantages. First of all, less plastic, which is always good. And plants do like the soil blocks from my experience. So what happens is when the plant starts to develop, it actually root prunes itself. Let me just grab one of these. Here, I'll show you. So when the plant grows up here and starts to develop the root system, when the roots hit the surface, they actually air prune themselves. And instead of the roots growing in a circle like it would in a pot or a little cell, the root development is a lot better in these soil blocks. So those two, the plastic and the root situation, kind of two of the biggest advantages of the soil blocking for me. Watering soil blocks is a little tricky. You obviously have to water it from the bottom, which is kind of good as well, so you don't have as many fungus gnats or algae or mold issues on top of the soil blocks. Of course, planting is a breeze because you don't have to pop the plants out of the plastic containers. You just take one of these soil blocks and pop it in the ground. Soil blocks done. This row is a little wonky for some reason, but that's okay. And now I'm going to start the seeds. The stock seeds are not super small, kind of like this. I'm going to use a toothpick to put them in the soil blocks, and a little water. It's my favorite method. So you just wet the toothpick, take the seed, place it in the soil block. These need to be sown 1/4 inch deep. So after I place them in the soil blocks, I'm going to add a little bit more of the seed starting mix on top. Stock seeds don't take super long to germinate, and they don't take that long to mature either. Again, the reason why we're starting them so early is to make sure that we catch that cool period of the spring where they really thrive. After you sow the seeds, you can mist them to make sure the moisture starts to get into the seed and start the process of germination. It doesn't take that long for stock seeds to germinate. I would say a week max. I don't even place them on a heat mat. I will put a humidity dome on top of it, and once I see a little life out there happening, I will place them under the lights. Forgot to mention what kind of varieties I'm starting today, and this is the fun part, to see all the different colors. So I'm starting Cat's Apricot, Stock's Antique Rose, Iron Purple, High Quartet Cherry, Iron Rose Pink, and Iron Blue. Let's do another seed variety in this seed starting kit here. And as I'm doing it, I want to tell you about this interesting thing with stock, that even though the varieties that I just showed you are all double, a lot of times in the same seed packet there will be single stock. It's just very hard for the producers to sort out the single and double stock seeds. Sometimes on the back of the seed packet you will even see the number. It will say 80% double stock, 50% double stock. Certain varieties have more or less. But once your stock starts to germinate, you can tell by the cotyledons whether it's a single or double stock. And if you have a fused cotyledon, that is most likely a single stock. And if you have normal cotyledons, that will be double stock. So you can cull all of the fused cotyledon stocks to get just doubles. Now there's nothing wrong with single stock if that's the way you like it, but I really do love the double stock. They're so fluffy and gorgeous. They look amazing in bouquets. Now single stock also is very pretty, and it's actually a lot more fragrant than the double stock, and doesn't flop as much. But let me tell you, I love all of them. When I got to grow a stock for the very first time, and I mostly grew it for the scent, because the scent is unbelievable. It is very spicy, delicate, clove-like scent, like nothing else in the plant world. And the beauty of flower itself, I think we are missing those candle-like flowers in our gardens a lot. And also the fact that it can cover that window of late spring, early to late spring in my area, when nothing is really blooming, and I can sometimes even combine it with my tulips, which is absolutely stellar combination. Just want to make sure that I mist the top of the seed starting mix really well so the process of germination can start. Once I see any life happening here, I will place these under grow lights, and place them under grow lights pretty close, about 3 inches, because I want to make sure that the seedlings are nice and stocky. And about mid-March, they're ready to be planted outside. They are very cold tolerant. They can take temperatures up to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. -4 Celsius, if I'm correct in the conversion there. You have to be careful when you plant these outside to protect them from rabbits. Rabbits love stock, and one of the years I lost half of my crop, but now I spray them with Plant Skid, which is a rabbit repellent, and it has been working really well for me. And about mid-May time, I will have beautiful flowers, and I like to incorporate stock with my other flowers in the garden that are blooming around mid-May. But also it's an excellent cut flower. It has a very long vase life, and it's also edible. I've never tried to eat it, but I know for sure that it's edible. I think you can add it to your salads. It is an amazing flower to grow. It's quite easy. You just have to get that timing right, that it catches that cool, really nice spring period. But I hope this video was informative and you guys learned something new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.